My mom moved us to another state to be with her husband and his family, but now she is furious because I am planning to move back to my real family, and she is furious. I, 17 female, moved states with my mom, her husband, and his kids when I was 13. My mom's husband got a job offer in his hometown, and he wanted to be near his family, and mom okayed it. This took us away from my family and the people I lived with for 11 years. Before my mom moved in with her husband, we lived with her parents, as in my grandparents. I never met my dad, so for me, my core family was my mom and my grandparents. I had 2 aunts and an uncle and their spouses and kids all living within 15 minutes from our old house too. The move was great for my mom's stepkids. They got to be close to their families, their dad's side and their moms. Their mom passed away, so it was emphasized that it would be extra special and important for them. They always wanted to go back home because this was always home to them. But to me? My home is where we moved from. When we were first told about the move, I said straight up that I didn't want to leave my family behind, and my mom told me I wasn't because we were all moving together. I didn't see the stepfamily as my family, though. To me, my family is still mom and everyone back home, but especially my grandparents. Her husband has tried to fill the role of my dad, but my grandpa and my uncle already filled in the fatherly figure role for me. And I'll admit the fact he took me away from my family to be near his also makes me less open to being close to him. I had no choice in the move, so I went with them, but I always saw this as temporary for me, and I would move back home as soon as I could. My mom has tried to make this my home. She put me in extracurricular activities, she let me do stuff I was never allowed to do back home, and she tried to use things to make me love it here, but I hated every second of being here, and now that I'm 7 months away from being able to move home again, it's all I can really think about. I've spoken to my grandparents about moving back in with them when I can, and they're on board and they're excited to have me back. We were talking about some of the logistics of it when mom came home and heard some of my side of that discussion. She got upset and asked me why I'm already planning on leaving, and I told her that I always wanted to. She told me she wanted to strangle me, not in the literal sense of taking away my life, but because we had so much going for us where we are now, and I can't see it. She told me I could have used the move to get everything I wanted, and it would have worked. Then she said I'm not even trying to make this place home, and I agreed with her. I told her I never wanted the move, and for me, home isn't about the stuff but the people, and I left most of my family behind when we moved, and I just want to go home now, and I've always just wanted to go home. She acted like I slapped her. She told me she knew I considered her my family, but to say I left most when I had her husband and his kids here meant I didn't even count them, and she said it's been 6 years since we all started living together, so that was a hard thing to hear. She told me she couldn't understand me and that most teenagers wouldn't give a crap about the people they left, and they'd kill for the stuff they gave me since we moved. She also said her husband would be really gut-punched to realize while he's been bonding with me and seeing me as his daughter, I only ever saw him as the guy who made me move. She said I was totally selfish and didn't even love her enough to accept this because she loves me, and she loves him and his kids. Am I the butthole?